You wanted more, and we're going to give you more. Jeremy, tell them what we got.
You know the deal, rapid fire. We got a bunch of different topics, some news, some sports, some business, a little bit of everything. We're going to get started with the fact that snow days could now be a thing of the past. Schools are having teachers give online assignments when inclement weather keeps kids at home. Corey.
I'm going to go first. You know why there's no more snow days? I'm about to piss everyone off because of global warming. Because when I was a kid, we had all kinds of snow days. I lived in Ohio my whole life. It snowed way more than it snows now. It's fucking sunny during Christmas now. I feel like I live in the South, even though I don't live in the South. But the reason why there's no more snow days, they don't have to give assignments, is because of global warming.
So, yeah, what I would say is the last people that need a break are kids. Even though when I was a kid, I looked forward to snow days, but
yes.
In retrospect, kids don't need a break. So if there's a snow day and they get an assignment online, just like many college courses are online, just like some high school courses are online, I think that's a more effective way to have ubiquitous teaching. It doesn't stop.
Huge word.
So, thank you. Thank you.
Like, you just went like this.
Yeah,
big wiener word.
Shutting it
big
down.
wiener word right there.
Feel my ubiquity, baby. But I think it's great. I
already know he can spell.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not going to ask him.
I think it's great.
Hey, so look, when I heard that question, I said, this doesn't apply in the hood because they ain't got Wi-Fi in every house.
Yeah.
So they can't do this.
No.
This doesn't apply to the hood.
No, this don't apply to the hood. That is like a New Albany question.
That's racist.
Jeez. All right, next.
The Christmas song "Baby It's Cold Outside" is facing criticism as people say the song lyrics evoke date rape and coercion, and has been banned from several radio stations. Corey.
That's my favorite song from the movie Elf. All right.
I don't even know the song.
I just think people are reading into shit too much. I don't know. I think everything's so fucking sensitive nowadays. I mean, come on.
Listen,
right?
Everybody, here's all of our competitive advantage in society is this is just another example, and we're going to keep hearing them every week, of the pussification of our society, of the eternal softness of our society, of how most parents are raising their children, of how most people think things should be politically. We're talking about a fucking Christmas song.
Yes.
We're talking about a Christmas song, and what does it really say about what people got going on in their life when they have
Thank you.
When they have time to make this an issue? Okay, this wasn't made about date rape. I think any
how old's the song?
1940s.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Come
bro.
on.
It's just it's silly shit. It makes me mad even talking about it. And if you are the type of person, if you're listening, and you're the type of person who participates in this kind of stuff, you're a fucking loser. That's it.
Yeah, I just think that with all of the things that they could be raising issues on in America, to raise an issue about a Christmas song, I'm not minimalizing it, but there's a lot of other shit in our country that would make the country a better place that was happening before that Christmas song played on the radio.
I'm gonna hijack this show real quick. So yeah,
are you gonna sing this sing the song?
Hey, I wish I could sing. I can't. I'm gonna hijack it because when we talk about other issues, I know I shared this. We talked about it. I just want to talk about the gentleman who took down the tobacco industry, who is now picking a fight with Big Pharma on opioids. I know this gentleman's first name is Mike. He was just on 60 Minutes. He's a predominant lawyer, and he is going at the distributors of opioids. He has cases all across the country, and he's going at the manufacturers of opioids, and he is not stopping until he gets hundreds of billions of dollars. It's about time someone basically took on a moral code and said, I'm going to put my shit aside and I'm going to go fight for the betterment of this country. So as opposed to talking about a Christmas song, let's talk about someone who's on a crusade to save lives and to do something that this country and this government has not done for itself.
That's honorable.
I watched that segment, and that dude's a G, and he's like, this is easy. He's like, they're all so fucking guilty that they all got so much blood on their hands. He's like, this ain't even hard. Wow. He's like, now it's just about me getting the amount of money that can help rehabilitate what's happening out here.
And I'm gonna, just like yesterday, I'm gonna call out McKesson, which is, I believe, the 6th largest corporation in the country. Mo, you're gonna like this. I told Corey yesterday. It was in the piece. In a town of 400 in West Virginia, they have a pharmacy, and this town of 400, they shipped 9 million Oxycontins to last year. That's 22,500 Oxycontin pills for every resident of that town. And
9 million.
400 people, bro.
400 people.
It's like
in
the
West
size of
Virginia.
the town like I grew up in, which didn't even have a stop sign. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude.
Those motherfuckers got $206 million last year in revenue. They better settle quick.
9 million, bro.
22,500 per person.
I don't. So like the first question is like, how the fuck is that even legal?
It's not.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
Lobbyists.
It's like they don't see the other end. Like I see the other end of these kids getting killed, these kids getting hooked, these kids like. And I just came from our center. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at these dudes are young dudes, bro.
And they're caught
you know,
up hard.
bro. I'm in here looking at them. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you don't even give. And I'm not blaming. I am blaming people. I'm blaming them, right? Because there's something that, and we talk about this all the time. Like once you get so much money, you begin to take care of yourself. Like you start to start to think about other shit, the betterment of people, right? It's not all about the dollar. And when you're generating that much fucking money, like the money can't be that important. You know what I'm saying? After like, what more can you do? It becomes greed. It becomes time for a fucking lawyer to go on a crusade and say, hey,
you're hurting people.
No, you're not hurting. You're killing
them.
You know
this is a catastrophe.
Yeah, he sent the video to me. This is definitely a catastrophe, brother.
And you know who else it's on? And Jeremy, you could probably answer this. Is who are the fucking, and please answer this if you know it. Who are these fucking rappers that talk about Percocet and these fucking drugs in their songs? Give me some names.
The one that you referenced on the podcast was Mask Off by Future. That was one of them.
What else? Who else talks about this shit?
I know a lot of the newer people.
Who are they? What are their names?
I think like Juice WRLD.
Okay,
is one
fuck
of them.
you, Juice WRLD. Fuck you, Future. You're fucking both pieces of fucking shit. Who else?
When your hook is Percocet, that's a problem.
Percocet, Molly Percocet.
Yeah, who else? Who else?
I think, does Lil Pump do that stuff? I feel like he does.
Yeah, he's a little fucking pussy.
Yeah.
Who else?
I don't know all of them.
All right.
Jeremy.
Well,
I listen to
resident rap star.
I listen to better rap music than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for mentioning that.
If these guys had any fucking clue what the influence they had over these fucking kids.
You guys should go watch that segment from 60 Minutes, though. It was good. All right, next, Jeremy.
Johnson & Johnson says they will buy back as much as $5 billion of their own stock after a Reuters report last week came out saying that Johnson & Johnson has been aware for decades that their powder contained asbestos, and the company is currently facing thousands of lawsuits saying the baby powder caused cancer. John.
What?
It's the PR playbook 101 move. So for those of you who are not familiar with stock buybacks take place to implicate to anyone who's watching. It's to implicate that you are, as a company, are in great condition, the future is bright, and as opposed to taking that $5 billion and investing it in R&D or in new products, we are so confident in the future of our business, we're going to buy back stock with that $5 billion. That normally gives the market confidence, and that normally shoots your stock up. When Apple does it, maybe every couple of years, everybody's stock flies up when that happens. But because they're in such a pinch, I don't know if it worked. I doubt it did. But that's a PR 101 move, and it's going to be a costly one.
They haven't done it yet, and so they said their market cap dropped by like $50 billion.
When you know that the shit you're giving the babies of America can give them cancer, and you knew that. Like, what the fuck?
Welcome to the downfall of an empire, my friends. When the people who have the money are killing people. We just talked about the big farm industry. We just talked about the sixth biggest company. Now we're talking about Johnson
and Johnson.
a staple of America, like Coca-Cola is a staple of America. We're talking about killing Americans. When is greed run amok to where people just get out in the streets, bro? This is when people used to get out in the streets. We're killing each other.
Yeah, it's bad.
No problem. like the day goes on.
Money,
you know what I'm saying?
money,
bro.
money.
Next.
All right, this one's pretty fucked up. Grieving parents say a priest called their son a sinner at his funeral. A Michigan priest reportedly lectured a grieving family about the consequences of dying by suicide at an 18-year-old's funeral rather than giving a compassionate speech.
Oh.
You don't want to hear my fucking take on this. I promise you that.
Well, go ahead, John. Fuck it.
If that was my kid and he said that at his funeral,
I would have some. I would definitely probably fly off that fucking handle. So this guy basically gave a eulogy. Of that.
Mm-hmm.
Eulogy, lecturing about the consequences.
Oh man, that's it. I don't even know who you think you are, that you think you're that sweet, that in that type of grieving, in that unfortunate situation, that it's time to teach. You think that's like just so
Brother,
arrogant,
listen,
bro. What
no,
the fuck?
That's another level of disrespect on top of something that's very sensitive. There's no do-over. Look, there's no do-overs at funerals.
No.
So your last experience with this person is supposed to be a celebration of their life, a grieving process, and like closure to this. Like to hear somebody who's hosting the event, for lack of better words, for them to disrespect that person and
It's
to provoke
fucking
more
terrible.
emotion. Absolutely.
Dude,
So
I almost came unglued to the funeral director that had my dad's body at the funeral home because he tried to sell me something within 30 seconds of me walking in the door after I just learned my dad died.
oh wow.
And it wasn't even to that level. And I was about to fucking like literally give this dude a beating.
yeah.
I sat down in the chair. I just got done crying. I literally just drove from the spot where he died at. And this motherfucker's like, well, I don't know if you're going to keep him here, but we got this option and this like so like
Insensitive.
uninsensitive. Dude, it had been like not even like an hour or two. I looked at my stepmom like, I'm about to kill this motherfucker right now. Like, it was so hard not to take all the aggression out that I had from that moment and just light this dude up. I had to leave. And to think that if it had been my kid and you'd have been standing up there like on some
Publicly
fucking
in
pedestal,
front of my fucking family
in some pedestal, like what?
So yeah, I got to take back. I wouldn't. When I say I would, I don't mean I would literally. What I would say is,
Jeez.
here's where shit gets crazy, right? So, like Mo says, there's no do-overs at a funeral. If you could take one message from the guy that apparently all the priests look to as their Lord and Savior, which is Jesus Christ, that word, that deal would be forgiveness. So you are going to take this moment and you are not going to bestow upon this dead child forgiveness. You're going to use that time to judge.
Yeah.
You do not know the word of the Lord, sir. And I don't even want to call you sir. You do not belong in that position.
No.
That's it. No killing. That's it. That's it.
Next.
So President Donald Trump lashes out at SNL on Twitter after the
Jesus fucking Christ, this fucking guy.
I saw this.
Oh my God.
I feel really up to date on the news
Dude.
right now. I'm never normally.
Oh fuck me.
This comes after the show's Christmas parody sketch, which depicts a world where Hillary Clinton were elected president. Apparently, things were very good under that reality. And it was like the It's a Wonderful Lifestyle, where they go back and look at everything that's going on.
That's
He
hilarious.
tweeted, "A real scandal is the one-sided coverage, hour by hour, of networks like NBC and Democrat spin machines like Saturday Night Live. It is all nothing less than unfair news coverage and Democratic commercials. This should be tested in courts. Can't be legal.
Tested in courts.
Only defame and belittle. Collusion?"
Dude.
Hey, I gotta say this, and this is a non-political.
This is a surprise, right?
Yeah. No, this is non-political.
Yeah.
Okay. let's get rid of all the what's really going on politically, and let's say, shouldn't we all be kind of scared when our president has this amount of time on his hands to watch Saturday Night Live and watch every TV show and then tweet about it in a tirade? I mean, forget all the other stuff that we can argue back and forth. I mean, think about it. He's the president of this country. I haven't watched Saturday Night Live in 10 years.
I haven't either. You know what it means? The first thing that I read this tweet real time. The first thing I thought was, "What we want, state TV?"
State TV.
Yeah,
look, bro.
That's what happens. Because that's what that means.
Exactly.
I don't give a fuck. I'm not. I don't even follow politics.
Yeah.
This ain't no conspiracy. That's what that means.
Man,
How can you take it any other way?
Yeah.
I don't believe that I should be made fun of. I don't believe you can talk. What do they
Freedom of speech.
What do you
It's
think
I
happens
thought
in
you
Russia?
guys love the Constitution.
What do you
That's what
think?
makes me crazy.
What do you think happens in Russia, or what do you think happens in Korea? You talk shit, they kill your ass. That's it.
dude, man.
That's it, bro.
Hey, the same people who cling to the Constitution for their guns, and I believe guns are fine as long as they're responsible, but they cling to the Constitution. Freedom of speech. It's in the Constitution.
I want to keep my guns too. I just don't want state TV. Let's go to
Come
the next one.
on, you can't have it both ways.
To John's point, there was a thing that came out a while ago about Trump saying he watches, I think, 8 hours of TV every day.
I hope that's not true.
I remember that came out a while ago after he was
I
elected.
hope that's not true, Jeremy.
Anyway.
I hope that's not.
Yeah, that's fine.
I haven't watched 8 hours this month.
Motherfucker, you're the most powerful man in the world.
You know what's so interesting? Like when I think about it, that would be like every person that ever talks shit about any of us constantly addressing it. That's what it is.
Yes.
Think about Mo, somebody talking shit about you, and you're addressing it on Twitter every day, and then somebody else talks about, well, fucking in this game, and you're addressing it every time. That's like the opposite of what you're supposed to do to haters. I don't even get it.
Yeah, so
Like I don't even take my time to even act like they exist.
And he's the most powerful man in the world.
That's what doesn't make any. It's the wrong way to even do it. You act like Saturday Night Live doesn't even exist. Fuck them. If that's what you think.
But here's the problem: is
you don't understand. You know what I'm saying?
I
It's so
get it.
weird.
I got you, but that works for the base that will not leave him because they don't feed off facts.
I gotcha.
They don't feed off policy. They feed off that stuff because they can understand it.
Yeah, I don't get it. All right, next.
Vitaminwater is offering $100,000 to one lucky person to ditch their smartphone for an entire year.
Somebody will take it.
I fucking love that. I fucking love that because it's showing a absolute outside of the box idea on something that, listen, Apple programmers have left Apple, Google programmers have left Google, and they have gone on the record to say that all of our devices, the software, the hardware, literally were created to addict us. And the joke is on us to think we are not addicted. So when a company, puts out an incentive that will grab people's attention, $100,000 to simply ditch their smartphone, what they're saying in their own way without saying a big press release, which I'm sure there might be one of those too, is we have a real fucking problem and we want to maybe get out front of this thing because, again, here's an experiment that we don't know the end of. And I like it. It's outside the box thinking, and it's real, and it's a problem.
This is going to sound crazy, but I think probably everybody's experienced this. I was at a baseball game one time, and I was hearing this lady in front of me talk about they listening to us. Every time I talk about it, an ad pops up. I thought she was fucking crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
real.
I was like, "Who is
It's
this?"
so fucking real.
I was like, "Who is this crazy bitch at this ball game?" And I was like, and I wasn't even feeling it. And then it happened to me.
Yes.
And then it happened to me yesterday. And then it happened to me the day before. I've said something that I never searched for on my phone,
and it popped up.
and then an ad popped up. I swear to you, Mo, it's happened so many times that it's fucking scary. To John's point,
It's real.
It's
I've been
real.
saying it for
But I
fucking
thought that
years.
bitch at the ballpark was sorry. I don't want to call her. I thought she was crazy because everything else she was saying outside of that was wild. I felt like I was in a bad soap opera. And then when she mentioned that, I was like, man, this chick is crazy. And then it happened to me. So there you go. Next.
Regarding the stock market in decline, Jim Cramer, stock analyst, says it's not a safe market. In fact, it is the most treacherous stock market in years. He says the persistent market sell-off has gone beyond concerns about the economy and the Fed, and I think that there's a lot of people who say, I got to get out because everyone else is getting out.
Yeah, I think we might start seeing a heavier sell-off because of, if nothing else, Michael Cohen just got sentenced to jail time. That's a fact.
He did? I don't know that.
Yeah. They got
How
sentenced.
much, John? You know?
I know the prison he's going to is supposed to be cushy, but it was reduced because of what's
Coming.
Yeah. So markets hate uncertainty. If Trump runs into trouble, which they don't know if that's going to happen in a month, a week, or a year, uncertainty keeps the market going like this.
Gotcha.
So we've been consistently going down, and the uncertainty of the country is going to continue to contribute to it. It may be a consistent decline. And Jim Cramer, even though people have accused him of being all over the map, the guy, I think, got checked real hard once. People should look it up, by Jon Stewart. It's one of the most amazing TV moments ever. But I think now he does look out for the common man to the best of his ability. And I would not be surprised if this market continues to decline for the next 3, 6. I could see the market semi-crashing.
Interesting. Yeah, we haven't talked about this. I wondered if you haven't been bullish recently. You're hanging.
So with everything develops every day. I think Cohen getting sentenced just means they're one step closer to individual number one. And
It's amazing that they call him that, and they keep it. Everyone knows who they're talking about.
Exactly.
That's what they name it as.
Individual number one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's unreal. All right,
This seems like a fucking movie.
it's like Rico, bro. It's like some Rico shit.
It's a mob movie.
Straight up mob movie, Rico shit.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
Corey, tell if you're comfortable. Remember we were in the hotel and you turned on Fox News and how?
Oh, I don't watch TV really, right? Just like any of us. But when we travel, because I'm not doing stuff with the family, I've got more time.
Downtown.
So it was already on. So I watched it for probably an hour. I was in there. This is gonna sound. I was in there laughing. John walked in. He goes, "What are you watching?" I'm watching Fox. I didn't know how bad it was.
Yeah.
It is fucking horrible. It's on at the golf course when I go through, but I'm not really watching it. But I was, and Geraldo was on there. I was laughing my ass off. I remember when he got fucking hit with a chair when I was a little kid. Right? When I was a little kid, now he's in there speaking some crazy shit. I'm just like,
Dude.
This is really what part of the world. So for you guys that are listening that are huge into politics, I don't really follow politics, right? But I'm telling you, what I was watching, that shit's not politics.
I tell you this.
No.
I mention this all
That's
the time.
not fact. They're
opinion-
not
it's
facts.
opinion takes.
It's all opinions.
I think politics is the biggest joke, bro.
Come on, man.
It's just a big joke. It's my opinion on it.
You want to run for senator, Mo?
I don't want to run for anything. I don't want to be down with these gangs. I don't want to. Brother, the politics are just a white glove way of gang members.
They're the biggest gangsters. They're the biggest gangsters.
I promise you this. The streets on a lot of level are an undeveloped version of what politics are. And the more I learn about them from being close to them, the more I figure to operate. These are nothing but just head guys of gangs. And at the end of the day, and everything is controlled by business. That's all. Look,
Exactly.
And money.
Bro, John represents me. I'm trying to get something, John. John, how much does it cost for you to run? How many ads do you need? Oh, you got some nieces and nephews who need jobs.
Right.
You got some buddies who need some contracts.
Exactly.
I'm going to.
Your cousin owns a construction company.
I have influence over, because people don't understand the government is the biggest contractor in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're
You can make people rich. Look, what do you think Dick Cheney was doing, bro?
People miss that whole deal, right? We
Yeah.
talk about politics, but from a business standpoint, your
The government's
biggest
money.
contracts are from government, right? And they're not from government; they're from taxpayers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
These are
Yeah.
taxpayer dollars, right?
And they're overbid. So, for example, the Daley family in Chicago, they were mayors for so long. They have 7 houses that that were purchased by a Chicago construction company that I guess aren't in their name. And what happens with a lot of bids, let's say there's a bid for work to fix a highway, and let's say it's worth $150 million. Well, if they got a good relationship with the big Chicago construction company, I don't need to say the name, and they come in at $400 million, here you go, here's your contract. Well, the mayor just overpaid $250 million. Well, I wonder why.
Yeah.
It's not his money.
Yeah.
But
a lot of that
he-
going on.
Yeah.
Bro, I own the cabinet. I own all of it. I've done a favor for John 3 years ago.
Anyone speaks against me, they're going to end up behind bars.
Bro, listen to me. This is
It's some gangster shit.
Bro, so then for me, after seeing and understanding and being conscious that it's gangster
Scary.
shit, it makes me crazy of the opinions on people in the ghetto. Right?
Right.
They're just poor.
Right.
This is justified.
It's the fucking truth.
They want a
Bro.
Whopper at Burger King. That's
Bro,
it.
this is like I get they're poor and they just
Right.
committing crimes. It's not like they want to do this.
For some reason, the other one's just justification
bro,
because of the fucking
Greed,
it's the
greed.
classism, bro. That's the shit you talk about.
If we took like vague language and we ripped a socioeconomic difference and we said person A did A, B, and C, and this person did A, B, and C, the behavior of the people and the mentality behind
The
what they're
fucking
doing.
same.
Oh.
Bro, listen to me. There's no reason that I should be looking at somebody who wears a suit every day, who does normal business, legal business, and I put quotations up, right? Who does legal business, and I should feel that he feels like I shouldn't feel that this is gangsterish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's like, so when I go to a bake shop, I don't feel like the lady at the bake shop is a gangster.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But when I'm around politics, I say
That's how you feel.
these dudes are like gangsters minus the violence, bro.
It's their block.
So how about when when the markets crashed and the government had to put out $750 billion in 2009, and they know that the big bankers in the hedge funds and on Wall Street, they know what they did to tank this economy. Not one of them went to prison.
Not
But-
one.
But what was that? And I don't want to make this racial, but that dude was stealing a pack of gum. Who got shot in St. Louis? What was his name?
Michael Brown.
Right, he's stealing a pack of gum. These guys took away the 401ks of half the families in this country.
And I was just about to say, abso-fucking-lutely. You know what I'm saying?
Don't steal gum, Mo.
But I like the point of person A and B doing these same things, and then if you don't know their identity, what they wear, where they live, or what
How they
context of
talk,
business it
how
is,
they walk.
too, and it's
all-
eerily the same.
Because you know what? You look back and you look at mafia movies, you look
Oh, yeah.
at gangster shit, and so you classify behavior as gangster-ish because the intentions behind the moves are gangsterish, right?
Absolutely.
The coldness of them. So these evoke feelings. So just as
Yeah.
we would have similar feelings if there was a loose dog over here that was growling and barking. All of us would feel like, oh shit, danger, right?
Yeah.
We have senses for a fucking reason. When I'm just hearing political moves, I say, oh, these dudes act just like they're in the fucking hood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the sad part about it is you can act like that if this didn't affect so many other people, Americans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if this is just John's golf course and he has an opinion on his own golf course and he runs
Yeah.
it,
Right.
and it just affects his population of people, that's one thing. But when you have like when you're in
called
charge of policy,
Yeah,
you
you're
know
in
what I'm saying?
charge of your people, man.
But that's I mean, but also like even to add to this fact, like this is the first time I've ever felt just being in Columbus. I was like, I used to hear people say, man, at some point it's either going to be rich people or poor people, poor people, right? When I start connecting policy, when I started to see who's getting richer, when I started to see where opportunities
How
are
they're
going,
getting richer.
how they're getting richer, I said, bro, I looked at myself, I said, this is really, there is no middle class. You know, and I start thinking about Columbus. It's either you're poor and you live in a certain part of town.
Think about the suburbs, Mo. They're all rich. And then think about there's, the near east side and the west side. There's a couple poor areas, and
Bro,
boom, everything else has got money.
Just think about this. So they said in Columbus, Ohio, this is just for developers in real estate, they will have to build, this was in the dispatch, between 14,000 and 21,000 new homes to keep up with Columbus in the year 2050. So every year in 2050, they have to build up 21,000 new places just based on the growth of the city, right?
Yeah.
And so what are you doing? Okay, we don't want to go out to farmland. We're going to regentrify all these spaces in this inner city, right? So then you bring industry in. You hike up the price.
Skyrockets everything.
You bring everybody in here.
You bring
right?
Chipotle in.
You bring Chipotle, Starbucks, and a burger spot, some little Five Guys or whatever.
Yeah.
You bring in a financial firm. You bring in Giordano's. You bring in your staple Kroger's.
And then you got white people.
So
straight up.
But this is literally what happens. And so, but now I'm seeing like, okay, so how are these people making money? Then you start to think about people dying and life insurance going to the kids and assets going to kids. And then you start to realize like, yo, 20 years down the line, bro, it's either you're poor or you're rich. There's no strategy to say, hey,
what is even the middle class? What's the actual?
I would say between 50 and 80 grand
is
collectively
that
as
the
a
middle class,
household.
John?
He would probably know better than I do.
Yeah, what's the actual numbers?
All I know is I don't know the numbers. Okay. All I know is it's shrinking drastically.
For sure.
And I don't know people who are just like surviving in a healthy way. I know people who got it and people who need it.
So here we go, bro. It's this simple. It's either you at Smith & Lewinsky's and Morton's and Cheesecake Factory, or are you at Burger King, bro?
Yeah.
And there's like the Applebee's crowd.
I was just gonna say I used to be in the Applebee's crowd.
Look,
that was the nice place we went to eat.
Applebee's crowd that is over.
Like, I used to like their fajitas.
They are good.
No, they got a good brunch burger. I'll tell you that.
That was when I was 20. Yeah.
But I'm saying that crowd is gone. That that doesn't even exist. Like that. Like
you got to go rural for that.
That Red Lobster is done. Like,
Red Lobster is done,
bro. That's done.
Hey, true. I remember going to Smith & Lewinsky's the first time me and Rach sat down way back in the day, and we got the menu, and I was like, oh shit, we can't afford this. We need to get the fuck up out of here. Like, where's the Applebee's at?
The steak doesn't come with a potato?
That's what I said. I swear to you, that's what I said. I was so mad. Yeah. I was like, I gotta buy a fucking potato too? Are you kidding me? All right. I think we're done, right? All right. Maurice Claret, Johnny Fosco, can the podcast be stopped? The podcast